What do we know about Afghanistan? It's located in Central Asia, and its history is filled with many calamities. The end of the monarchy and the beginning of the republic were followed by the invasion of Soviet soldiers and the proxy wars between Russia and the US. Later, a series of civil wars for a period of more than 30 years caused by the confrontation of the Islamic State, the Afghan forces and the Taliban, at that time supported by Pakistan, China, Saudi Arabia and the US. After the 9/11 attacks, the US demanded the extradition of this man, Osama bin Laden, a former operative of the CIA believed to be the head of the terrorist group that attacked the US, who was hiding at the moment in Afghanistan. But the refusal of the Taliban led to the invasion that lasted for almost 20 years. But what happened? Why did the invasion last so many years? What have the US achieved? The main objective of the US was solely to capture Osama and eliminate the threat to the security of the US, and to declare the war on terror, as it was called, guaranteeing the national security and strengthening the role of the US as the hegemonic leader of the world. And the Taliban weren't eliminated. In fact, they are stronger now than ever, and additional deployment of soldiers won't change the situation. You can see in the map that in the last year the Taliban has taken control all over the country, and recently President Biden announced this.
Our military mission in Afghanistan will conclude on August 31st.
What has changed? The wars of Iraq, Afghanistan, drained resources. The threat to the US in Afghanistan is smaller now, and a new radical approach to the problem arose, letting the Taliban control Afghanistan and enforcing the Doha Agreements, an agreement with the Taliban to facilitate future friendly negotiations, and the promise to the Taliban to hand terrorist groups like ISIS in their territory. The US started a new course of action, their reprioritization of the foreign policy, a change in their geopolitical interest, in other words, one in which countries like China, Russia and Pakistan come into action.
Tonight, the U.S. retreat from Afghanistan is complete.
And the last manned aircraft is now clearing the airspace above Afghanistan. It's a mission that brought Osama bin Laden to a just end, along with many of his al-Qaeda co-conspirators.
The Cold War brought what some call unipolarity, being the U.S. the main subject, a superpower in leading the war. Experts would agree that the US has lost during the last years some strength. While other countries like China have focused in their economic growth, or others like the assertive and firm Russian developed new regional policies that keep them in a high position. But Russia and China are already having trouble in the region, and the US has seen the possibility to destabilize it more, while having the opportunity to regain the strength against its adversaries.
In conclusion, from a realist perspective, we could say that the United States, by retreating from Afghanistan, has entered a new stage called Great Power Competition, in which, by retreating from the country, has put China and Russia in a difficult position and has put some more obstacles in the way of China to become the sole superpower. China, on the other hand, is handling a multifactorial problem. The control of the Wuhan corridor would allow trade routes and would make China not depend anymore on the Pakistan routes and give access to Iran and Saudi Arabia with nuclear and oil production. Not to forget about the issue of the jihadist groups and the Uyghur Muslims of Xinjiang province. Under this new situation, negotiations have been resumed between countries like Uzbekistan and Afghanistan.
از کسبکار، تجار، دریور، حتی کشور همسایه ما همه از دیدگاه امنیتی 100% راضی هستند. مشکل امنیتی، احتمال و خطر دزدی
Власть меняется, они все меняют законно. Раньше мы 3 дня заехали и выехали. Сейчас мы неделями там. У них людей, может, не понимающие еще в компьютере. Там же все поменялось, власть все поменяла.
But what about the future of Afghanistan? Well, we can't know for sure, but remember what happened in Saigon, Vietnam? After the war, years later, the country came to get support from the United States against China's expansionist policies. We cannot be certain, but we are sure that major agents like China, Russia, Pakistan and India will play key roles in the future of Afghanistan and the new country.